Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what it do, people, what it do. As you know, this is Thursday night, which means you look on top of the screen. It is the 6-man convo with your boy, the 6-man himself, K Styles.
The stizzle.
Not one, not two, not three, not four, not 5, 6, man.
Mm-hmm.
On to the left side, as you already see, it is the mad scientist himself, Mad Mike Sports. Hey, Mike, what do we tell him? And quoting Roman Reigns, acknowledge us.
Acknowledge
us.
That's what you do.
And today,
like that one.
Before we get to that, we always got to hit y'all with the what? The
real.
Oh, roll call. Damn. Sponsored by High Quality.
Yeah.
About down, come and forget me. Yeah. I got so caught up that she told me. Exactly. But what's going on, people? Hope everybody's day has been good. As we already know, we here and we here to talk some football prior to the draft. And today's roll call, we're going to give the roll call going today with Joseph Thornton. We got Rodney H, YMOF Jamal, ATL Leo, Jerry Bowie, Joe Houston, Brian Peoples, Pat Norris. We got the little bro ATM 534, as you already know. Hey, that rhyme. Hey, we gonna that's gonna be his nickname. You already know. Bit Mike 478. He ain't here to play. Nathan Floyd, D. Coleman. Hey, look, we got Bridget in the house. Bridget. Got Dirty Bird T. We got Isaac Crimes and Old Chicken Hauler. Hey, man. Let's get right into this, man. As y'all already see, the title of the show is the best player available conversation, and team need or fan need. And what I mean by this is when we talk about best player available, it's two different conversations that go along here as far as best player available from a team needs aspect and best player available from what the fans want to see. And I think they both collide with each other, and it's almost like sometimes what we want as fans might not coincide with what the team need is. I'm going to use an important example. As we know, the Falcons are in need of defense and building defense, right? As we've seen them give up 2,200 yards on the ground, 18 sacks in total. But we got a portion of the fan base saying that they need a quarterback. Like I said, the stats are saying Jordan Davis and or pass rusher but we talking about a portion saying Ahmed Gardner, Kyle Hamilton. I want to get your thought on that because this actually stemmed from the heavy hitter show last night, and I want to kind of continue this because I don't think a lot of people are really having this type of conversation. Let me get your thoughts on that, Mike. How do you feel about that? And everybody give your thoughts on that as well. What do you feel about that?
As far as the draft and what it truly means as far as the need is concerned. Oh shit! I got this counter burn and I saw a flame. I thought I was burning up some shit. I was like, "What the hell?"
Boy, don't do that, boy. That'd be one hell of a
good. But yeah,
that'd be one hell of an intermission. I tell you that.
I had to look. All I said, I was like, "Oh," but I was like, "Y'all gonna hear Mike say, ah!"
You make me want to shout with my heels back to shout. Go ahead, Mike.
But seriously, when it comes down to the draft, I think a lot of people get carried away with their own personal needs. Well, I wouldn't say needs, their own personal wants. And a lot of that's get clouded into, I need this. No, we don't need that. What we need is to fix the trenches. Start with the trenches, period, point blank. We can sit up here and say, all right, if we get Ahmed Gardner, if we end up getting him, would that fix the secondary? Of course, but we'll still have that problem that we had last year, and we have not fixed the 2,200 yards. I don't know why this number is just not intriguing to people, but I pull your card as a fan, and I'm talking about everybody who even covers the Falcons. I pull your card. If you really say that you are a football fan, a fan of football, you should be devastated. You should be angry. You should be upset when you see a defense giving up 2,200 yards rushing and you don't care. We rather focus on talking about quarterbacks, wide receivers. And let's just be honest. Defensive ends. You heard what I said. Defensive ends. Defensive ends is not going to stop the run. Because guess what? The defensive end may be doing, he may set the edge well, but if you got that hole in the middle, what good is defensive end? We saw that time and time again with the Colts. Until they really invested in getting a guy that could stop the run, a safety that could help stop the run, that's when the Colts turned around. Yeah, everybody forgot about Bob Sanders. I don't know who the guy is on the tip of my tongue, but the defensive tackle for the
Booger.
Was it Booger? I was thinking Booger, but I was thinking defensive. I was thinking the Bucks. I don't know. I was thinking Warren Sapp and Bucks, but Booger. When they end up getting him, things that change, and that's what we talk about. You look at the Chiefs when they got rid of Dontari Poe, their defensive run game went back to porous. Yeah. So they had to go back into the draft, replace Booger. I mean, Booger. You got me saying Booger now. Damn, that's a good
Anthony
McFarland, okay? But yeah, they had to go back into the draft and replace that gap. So we can sit up here and draft all the defensive ends, the cornerbacks, the safeties, and all that, the wide receivers. But if we don't fix that running game, whether it's running the ball and stopping the run, we're just going right back in circles. It's just a circle, repeating ourselves. Like they say and like they say in Back to the Future, what you don't want to do is mess up something, because you mess up something in the past, you mess up something in the future, it'll affect everything. It will affect everything. You guys, you're probably, most of y'all probably ain't even old enough to remember Back to the Future, but if you had, you'll get that. But like I said, you end up, you mess up something that's not supposed to be messed up. You don't fix what's, you know, fixable. Guess what? You repeat the same issue. The Falcons issue for the last 6 years or so is because they refuse to fix the defensive tackle position. They refuse to. If not invested in the defensive tackle position. I said this on the show. They did not fix it. They didn't fix it. They fixed the safety. They fixed the corners. They fixed the wide receivers, the running backs. They invested in even the offensive line. But one position that they failed to fix was the defensive tackle. They didn't do anything with it. And we wondering why we can't stop the run. We up here going out signing guys like, yeah, Route 96. That's what we doing. We're not investing into the defensive tackle, stopping the run. We so focused on rushing the passer that we forget that we got to stop the run and we got to run the ball. Those are the two things the Falcons have not done. Those are the two things the Falcons haven't done well in quite some time. In 6 years, to be honest. Well, I'll say 5, because 17 they did it well as far as running the ball. Mm-hmm. But after Steve Sarkisian left the Falcons, they didn't fix the running game.
Right. And like you said, it is essentially comes back down to flash. It becomes flash over substance. I'm trying to think of the right there. Flash over substance. Right. Yeah, because when we look at, I'm gonna use an example. I'm gonna look at TJ Watt last year, 22 sacks. But out of those 22 sacks, you forget that the Steelers had the worst run defense in the league. Mm-hmm. They gave up almost 145, 150 yards a game on the ground. But it's overshadowed by 22 sacks from TJ Watt. Mm-hmm. Now, and that's crazy to say we gave up 2,200 yards on the ground, but we wasn't the worst run defense in the league. But it comes down to a point where you kind of you refuse, you are not setting the tone defensively to where, okay, I know this defense is not putting up a fight, especially when they're going blow for blow. But our problem is, and like I said, the problem is, and essentially it's almost like a mindset of Thomas Dimitroff when you're more focused on the skill players instead of the guys on the inside. So we kind of complained about how DQ Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff and how they drafted players and how they put players together. But if we're more so focused on wide receivers and quarterbacks and corners and safeties with that first pick, are we essentially having the same mindset as what Dimitroff had? Now, you're going to need a quarterback. I don't see that as a pressing need. Everybody's trying to push this as a pressing need, like, oh, if we don't get a quarterback, it's the end of the world for us at the Atlanta Falcons. No. We need a wide receiver. If we don't get a wide receiver, it's the death of the Atlanta Falcons if we don't get a wide receiver with the 8th pick. No. We need a safety. No. You got about 4 safeties and 15 corners on this damn team. I think it just comes down to the fact that everybody ignores the aspect, and Rashad always say this. A lot of people ignore the aspect of player development. This is the elephant in the room nobody wants to address as far as player development. And this is where I give Fontenot and Arthur Smith and them, a lot of them, the credit for what they did last year. Yes, the Falcons draft class wasn't set. It wasn't the sexy draft class a lot of people like outside of Kyle Pitts with Richie Grant, Jalen Mayfield, Drew Dahlman, Darren Hall, Avery Williams, Ogundeji, all them. It wasn't the sexy draft class that everybody wanted. Taquan Graham. But what you saw sprinkles in the whole entire year was you're seeing guys that may not be deemed as the best draft class getting playing time, getting that time to develop. And this overshadows how beautiful a draft class look, because at the end of the day, you could draft a lot of players, but if you're not allowing to develop them, get them to playing time, let them get their feet wet, how do you know what you really got? That's why this past season was kind of a blessing in disguise as well, because we got to see what these guys are made of piece by piece by piece. You forget Jalen Mayfield playing a brand new position. Everybody want him gone. Forget that he's playing a new position, a position that he wasn't even supposed to be playing this year. He was strictly supposed to have been Caleb McGarry's backup.
Mm-hmm.
But because you had no left guard, they had to put him there. Ogundeji played a whole lot of games this year.
Mm-hmm.
He still got work to do.
He was pushed in a position where he had to be that. Like, he wasn't supposed to have that many snaps. But we all know that Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda wasn't doing what he was supposed to do at the end. He couldn't get the job done, so they had to force him into that position.
Right. But it also comes with the blame of the media as well, because it's really being sparked by them as far as trying to push the more so of the skill position need over the glaring need. It's the flashy need over the glaring need. Can you really set a tone with a skill player? In a way, you can. You can set tones with that. But it's almost like a like we always say, like this phrase has been used on the show. It's like the ripple in the pond. You throw a rock in the pond, you get that splash immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Splash gone just like that, but that ripple is still going all the way to the end of the lake. We have to stop looking for the splash and look for the ripple. Man, Bridget Kelly here said that's a damn shame. Defense giving up 2,200 yards. Is anybody on the field? Yes, they was on the field. But they were essentially shadows.
But they kept going through one person. They was literally, every team was going at the same person every game.
Mm-hmm.
Not joke. It's no joke.
Right. And that's why I give credit what credit due with Anthony Rush and Mike Pennell, because once they put them in there, the runs up the middle was not there no more. Now
Mm-hmm.
they started running to the outside. That's a whole nother story. And that negated the big
Mm-hmm.
dude.
Mm-hmm. You get guys that are better than they, you know, they're
Mm-hmm.
still gonna run, but those runs are not gonna be as successful.
Right.
Again, a lot of that had to do with the fact that our best run supporter, and let's keep it real, the the best run supporter wasn't. Um, the best run supporter wasn't Fourier Olowokun. It was two people.
Mm-hmm.
It was Deion Jones and it was Isaiah Oliver. We lost Isaiah Oliver. We really lost a lot of that run support.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people realize how significant of a blow that was
Right.
because he was the catalyst at that current time when we talk about playmaking.
Mm-hmm.
Dean P loves to use his slot corners as you know a sort of a box safety, and use his strong safety, his free safeties as guards. Just hey, nothing gets past you. That's it. Security man. That's what they are. Nothing get past the security. That's what he used. That's how he used his safeties and free safeties. So you
Right.
have to have athleticism, you have to have intelligence in order to play those safety positions. But corner, yeah, you gotta be physical to play corner in Dean P system because you gotta hit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So you saw, I like what I saw from Darren Hall, and I think he can be, the backup to an Isaiah Oliver or even a starter if he ends up, Isaiah Oliver for whatever reason can't return to form as far as his injury is concerned. Um, I think Darren Hall can be that guy.
And before Sam said 2,200 yards given up on rushing, giving up on defense. Yes. And
Mm-hmm.
Jermaine Walton here said, I'm tired of making people like Taysom Hill, Tyler
Come
Heineke look
on,
like
bro.
Pro Bowls.
Come on, bro. Speak. Well, you better. Hallelujah, Jesus.
How
Don't make.
long have
Hey,
we been
hey.
how long we have been making mediocre quarterbacks look like Pro Bowls?
Mm-hmm. They just run around. Nobody hit them. They just run around like a chicken head. Can't nobody catch them. Nobody hits them. Nobody touches them. Heineke is not. He's not even that fast of a quarterback. But somehow he just kept, you know, just kept getting free.
The quarterback we got on our team now damn near had a career year before he got benched the very next week.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Brown had a coming out party against the Falcons. Think about that. People knew about AJ Brown, but they were looking like, God damn, we didn't know AJ Brown was this explosive. They
Well,
played us.
this, yeah.
Um, but I was just looking up something, and this is where a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people kind of looking at Isaiah Oliver and they looking at the stats. So his stats from last year pretty much was he played in 4 games. He had 11 tackles, forced fumble, 3 pass defenses, and 1 quarterback hit. But the thing about it is, when you look at the tape, he essentially was the edge setter for the Falcons. He's the
Mm-hmm.
edge setter.
That's what the corners are. That the corner's job in Dean Pease's system is to set the edge. Sometimes it rotates. Sometimes when he wants to send a safety to switch up the edge, he'll send a safety, and then that responsibility rolls out to a guy like AJ Terrell and Casey Hayward. So that's why you have to have corners in this defense that tackle will. If you're afraid of contact, you can't play in this
Mm-hmm.
defense because
Right.
you're going to set the edge. You're going to have to go against a tight end. You're going to have to go against a tackle in this
Mm-hmm.
defense. So you have to be
Right.
physical.
Right. And Tony Wright here said last year's draft was a good draft in my eyes. We had some good young football players from the 2021 draft. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the
Mm-hmm.
issue is everybody's more in love with more in love with the splash instead of the ripple. The ripple is boring to look at. The splash
Mm-hmm.
is what keeps everybody excited. Like I said, this is one of the main reasons why you hear the name Malik Willis come up a lot because he's exciting. When we hear a lot of people talk about him, they don't talk about what he brings and what could be necessarily done to improve. The only two things you hear them talk about is he can throw the ball 90 yards and he can run. Or he can put asses in the seats.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't really have, like I said, don't have any, if you don't have an established set of guys around him to help his improve, help him ease into it, or not put all the pressure on him, is it really a good investment?
Mm-hmm. That right there. That's what happened to a guy like Justin Fields. It
Mm-hmm.
happened, or it didn't happen to Mac Jones because they made sure that he had the necessary um, tools that a rookie needs. It's not so
Right.
much that it needs wide receivers. The wide receiver are a plus, but what
Mm-hmm.
a rookie needs is time to slow the game down.
Game down.
When the game is so fast, they
Mm-hmm.
can't think. So you need a
Mm-hmm.
running game. You need a defense to keep him off the field as much so he can sit on the sideline, look at the playbook or the replay they have doing the on the outside doing but he needs the opportunity to sit back and slow down and learn. And I think that's the biggest um concern as far as I'm concerned. Um is that I don't want to touch a rookie quarterback because even if it's the second or third round, that's a wasted pick in my because we don't have outside of Kyle Pitts, Cordero Patterson. Can we say offensively, do we have the weapons necessary
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that he learns? Kyle Pitts is still learning. Great player, but he's still learning how to be an NFL player.
Right.
Facts.
He played just sure off at all sure athleticism last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just think about that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, like I said, everybody, like I said, appreciate everybody tuning in. If you just now tuning in, like I said, we just talking about best player available. Is it more about team need or fan need? But what I want everybody to do is if you're not subscribed to Six Man K Styles, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for your boy. Share and hit the like button as well, man. Like I said, get the word out on you, man. Help brother out over here, man. And y'all also make sure y'all leave y'all questions in because we got the Q&A coming at the end of the show as well. So go ahead and start throwing them questions in there. Um, let's see. We're gonna say that for later. Um, CK22 here said, aren't we still in games despite our shaky run defense? No, I'm not one to think our offense will be as bad as people think. So fixing up our defensive woes will go wonders in helping us win in 2022.
We actually talked about that last night. That was the whole point of me doing the research. In case you guys did not see it, I'll repeat it real quick. But essentially, what that was from last night is you had three teams: Baltimore Ravens, you had the Giants, and I threw in the Rams. Now the Rams were the only team that didn't have an elite running game. So they had a good pass rush. They had the ability to score, but one thing that they did was use the passing game as an extension of the run game, the short passing game to get those first down. That's why you had a guy like Cooper Cup, who essentially is a slot receiver. They just call it what it is. Cooper Cup is a slot receiver. He's probably one of the greatest of all time as far as his numbers are looking right now, but he's still a slot receiver. You put him on the outside, he's not as effective as he is in the middle of the field. So that's how they use an extension. So again, that's the reason why I brought that up. What that question again?
So we're going to, here it go. Here it go. We got a question right here. Sean R.C. McKay. He said, Jordan Davis, Kayvon Thibodeau, Trevon Walker, Jermaine Johnson, Saul Stingley, or White, who you taking at 8? Of all those, the most likely would be Jordan Davis. Like Mike said before, like even if you do take an edge rusher, and like you said, you can't go wrong with edge neither, but you're going to have a definitive number 2 defensive tackle, nose tackle that you are guaranteed that you're going to get. Because Travis Jones ain't going to be on the board once that second pick comes. I'm going to tell y'all right now, Travis Jones is not finna be on the board by the time the second round comes.
Yeah, y'all praying and hoping that a guy is going to be there.
Yeah. So it's just one of those cases is you're going to have to get the – and let's talk about the defensive tackle position compared to the edge rusher position in its totality. And yes, edge rushers are very important. Edge rushers can set the edge. Well, that's why they call edge rushers. They set the edge and they get sacks. That's what an edge rusher is. That's your sack artist guy. But what also helps an edge rusher become good, is when you got that mountain in the middle. Because as an offensive lineman, when you're going to the line of scrimmage, yes, you're trying to pick out who's the most dangerous pass rusher as well. But when you got that gigantic ass dude in the middle who quick as hell, them eyes ain't looking so far out as well as they're kind of closing in a little more here. And it kind of turns off that peripheral vision that offensive linemen have. Because even if we say use Georgia's defense, for example, like Trevon Walker, Devontae Wyatt, Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker. And I ain't saying they ain't very good, but they good. But are they also a product of having a big guy that does the dirty work for them to succeed?
Just saying.
Like I said, it comes off like that sometimes, where you have dominant defenses in college like that, where you have a lot of these players that's like really, really, really good. But when they come to the league, it's like, okay, they may be up and down. They may be up and down here. You might have a good one here, but this one doesn't last long. Let me give you a perfect example. The Miami Hurricanes, around 2003, 2004.
Ooh.
If y'all remember correctly, that was around Jonathan Vilma, DJ Williams. I think Philip Buchanan was before that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you also had Sean Taylor,
Had quite a few
Devin
linebackers.
Hester. Who else? Jonathan Vilma. I think I said Jonathan Vilma. Yeah, Jonathan Vilma. I ain't say him yet. But there was one key guy on that defense nobody talked about. Who am I talking about? Who? It was a man named Vince Wilford, who was the anchor of that defense as well. Now, not saying that those players wasn't good, but the longevity of how elite they could have been wasn't as there.
Mm-hmm.
Vince Wilford, you heard that name constantly. Vince Wilford, week in and week out. Those other guys, you heard Vilma's name, but that lasted that aesthetic lasted like maybe 3 years. You heard DJ Williams, but you only really heard about that name for like a couple years. Devin Hester, we already know where that ended up being. He made more of his impact on the special teams than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But the constant was Vince Wilford. But this is what we're saying about Ahmed Gardner. I'm gonna call him Sauce Gardner today because my motherfucker might not know who the hell Ahmed Gardner is. We talk about Sauce. Let's talk about that. So if you do draft a Sauce or a Darius Stingley Jr., you can have a secondary that can lock folks down. But if the team is not afraid to run against you, what the hell is the use of having a shutdown secondary if you can't stop the run? Because now what happens is if you can't stop the run, now your safety's got to play closer to the box. And you got to remember, this is a quick pass. This is a quick passing lead. Those 7-8 step drops are not that common anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You got athletes in the middle of the field now. It's all about balance, people. Because if I remember correctly, the last team that I remember that had like that 1-2 punch of corners, talk about in their primes now, was the Miami
I'm talking
Dolphins.
about Houston. Houston had Bouye and
AJ Bouye. Yeah. Damn, I know who you're talking about too. I forgot that one. AJ
but
Bouye.
they had a pretty. That's probably one of the best talents that we've seen in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
The Jaguars. What was this?
It was Ramsey 18? And Bouye as well.
It was Ramsey and Bouye too. Again, that's another thing. Again, they still had, but when the defensive linemen started getting hurt, you saw Ramsey become a little bit more
frustrated.
What's the word? He got frustrated. He damn
shit.
He started pointing fingers. He started pointing fingers at everybody. Boy.
And AJ Bouye. That motherfucker was nowhere. He was nowhere in sight after that.
He was nowhere. He was no longer that same guy. That's what happens when, and like I said, man, we talk about that anchor in the middle, and a lot of people look at was it Davis, who came over from Denver, who was that he wasn't necessarily the run anchor. Calais Campbell was more so the run stopper than anything. They would use him all over the place to try to stop the run. He had a lot of sacks, but Calais they used Calais Campbell. That's kind of the reason why I wanted Rashid Hateman, because that's exactly how Jacksonville were using Calais Campbell. They were just moving him all over all over the line. He was just creating mismatches. That's how Ngakwe and all those guys, Fowler at the time, before. I mean, when he was healthy, he put up some numbers.
Yeah, you forget about that Saxonville defense. You forget about Malik Jackson, who was a terror, who was a damn good anchor at Denver before he went to Jacksonville. And D. Sloan here says it starts in the trenches, plus it gives secondary time to execute their coverage while the D line is trying to get after the quarterback. That's what I said. This is why I always say, if you can make the quarterback make a decision in under 3 seconds, it does nothing but good things for your secondary. If you give a quarterback 7 to 8 seconds to throw a football, your secondary is toast. So this is where we come down to: would you rather have a shutdown secondary but a terrible front seven, or a great front seven and a mediocre secondary? Give me the front seven all day. The front seven makes motherfuckers have to think.
You gotta have the opportunity. What good is having two shutdown corners if you never had an opportunity to be a shutdown corner? I don't know what's going on.
You did. But yeah, this is what we talk about more so the ego side of it. And if you notice, it's the players that they're gravitating to are the guys that are the flashy. When you look at Sauce Gardner, you see the videos of the swagger and the chain and the grill and stuff. Oh yeah, Mad Mike done blacked out like the Atlanta Falcons of the mid '90s. But yeah, man, it's you cannot be out here. He'll be right here. He'll be right back. But yeah, we cannot get caught up in the flash. You can really only get caught up in the flash if you already have the necessary pieces already. See, now, if the Falcons would have already had a front seven that was capable of stopping the run, it could almost make sense to get a guy like Ahmed Gardner. But the problem is, and what a lot of people are not really looking at, is Denzel Ward just got paid as the highest paid corner in NFL history. The market for the next corner, the next top corner, is going to be about 115 to 120. The problem is, if you want Sauce Gardner, you're going to need AJ Terrell to start declining and failing in order to justify that pick. Because by you wanting Sauce Gardner, you're essentially saying, I hope AJ fails, because you're not going to be able to pay both of them when time comes here. See, we look at it now and be like, oh, yes, the best corner tandem. You know how it be sometimes when you be looking at something online and you be like, oh, man, I want that, man. That shit look good in my possession. Until you go down to that price, you looking like, oh, I don't know about that, man. Where the great value side of it at? Yeah. Because if AJ Terrell is steadily ascending, and then you bring in another corner that could be ascending like that as well, you ain't gonna be able to pay both of those guys down the line. Because AJ gonna be setting his contract in the next couple of years, and then now you're looking at Ahmed Gardner. Now, by the time his contract comes up, that market's gonna be set even higher. So you're essentially gonna be looking at possible. That's gonna be almost 250. That could be a possible $250 million cornerback tandem. Can y'all afford $250 million worth of corners? I'm just gonna ask everybody the question right now. Do you think you as Falcon fans can see your team afford $200 to $250 million on two corners? I want to get some. I'm see some. I want to get some yeses or nos here. Think about that. $200 million, bro. We seen what it was like when the Falcons paid $120 million to two corners, and saw where the fuck that led us.
Been down that road already.
Robert Alford and Desmond Trufant, both contracts together equaled up to about $100 million to $110 million at the time. And you couldn't afford to goddamn build that front seven like a mug. I see a whole bunch of hell no's in here. I see a whole bunch of his no's. Raymond Elder said, "No, I'm good." Jermaine Walden said, "We good." Yusuke said, "Nope." Nathan said, "Nope." Millie Mills came with the
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That, like, you have to think about stuff like that. You have to think about stuff. That's the problem. We don't think about things like that. And this is why us as Falcon fans, I ain't even gonna say us as Falcon fans, but this is why us as football fans are fans for a reason. We want to see the best players, but sometimes we don't put logic behind our wants and think. And we've seen the perfect example of this shit this offseason alone with the Deshaun Watson saga, the Kyler Murray shit coming up. Now we got the Deebo Samuel stuff coming out. You're essentially are going to be risking your position, your advantageous position in this draft for one player that you're going to have to pay after this season coming up. So that $115, $110 million worth of cap space you have for next season, 40% of that is gone to that one player. Now that Sauce Gardner that you want, that Jordan Davis that you want, that Jermaine Johnson you want, that Kayvon Thibodeau you want,
all gone. That's what happens when you look these skill players. When you pick up these wide receivers, corners, defensive ends, this is what you get. Quarterbacks, this is what you get.
So this is why we say team need or fan need, because sometimes what the fan may want may not be advantageous for the team at hand. We may want Malik Willis. The Falcon fans might want Malik Willis. But if you don't have necessary weapons built for him, you don't have a defense that can get him the ball back sooner, so where he can get more reps on that offense like that. You're essentially going to be wasting a year of development for him, even though he's going to still get experience. And now what happens is, now when you look at those players that you passed up on, where it possibly be a Jordan Davis or Jermaine Johnson, and they go to these other teams, and all of a sudden we looking like, damn, these guys could probably be like, these guys doing damage with these other teams. And then we're looking at like, damn, our defense sucks. We should have got this guy.
Yep. Again.
Now you'll be essentially right back to where the fuck you was. You got a quarterback, but you ain't got no pieces on defense to help it improve to where it needs to be. Dean Pease has been more vocal this offseason than he was last year. He want his defense.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to start talking. And then, and the reason why I'm saying this, because there was a video that we did in our chat with Mike and Rashad and Sam and them. It was a dude talking about the real Atlanta Falcons fans.
Oh, God.
We hear this phrase all the time. Real Falcon fans know that we need to get Malik Willis. My bad. I was just looking over and seeing where the fuck does that make sense at? Because essentially you're trying to get away from where the issue with the Falcons is to get a player that makes you feel good about yourself, that makes you feel good about what you want to watch.
Yeah.
The problem is, and Mike, you said it like this. You said it like this. This is going to be some boring football that we about to see. And I think people are scared of that because they're not really ready for that. They're not really ready for that style of football to be here in Atlanta.
Nope. Get ready to be the San Antonio Spurs of the NFL.
And they got 5 championships out there, motherfucker. I'll take it.
Hey, that's how you win games, though. We've been pretty. We've been pretty for the last 14 years or so. Well, I wouldn't even say 14 because I'll say for the last 7 years or so, we've been playing pretty football. Come on, man. Anybody who wants 7% doesn't know. Yeah, that's it. If you want Malik Willis, it's because you want to be entertained. You don't want to win games. You want to be entertained. Malik Willis is not helping us win games. Drafting him at number 8 or in the first round is not going to help us win games. It's not helping the Falcons. In the business of winning games.
Right.
That's the whole point of even getting rid of Matt Ryan. Because you can't build a team the proper way when you're paying your quarterback $35+ million. I hate, like I said, you can do a lot of penny pinching and try to do it, but chances are, like, that's gonna fail.
Right. Oh, this is a comment. I think this is a comment nobody wants to talk about. Kevin Arp said, loved watching Vic, but when we needed him to make a pass, we usually lost the game. I want to win.
What? What the hell is? Have y'all ever seen Malik Willis actually pass the ball for 400-500 yards? Let's keep it real. I've seen quarterbacks including Felipe Franks in college put up 400 yards. I haven't seen that from Malik.
Nah,
Maybe I'm tripping, maybe, but I don't remember seeing a game like that from him.
but
Have you ever heard of him having a game like that? Put up 400? I've seen Felipe do that.
I think it might have been
I've seen them put up
right.
300, seen them 400, 4 touchdowns. I've seen Sam Howell and those guys do that. I don't remember the last time I've seen him do that.
But the reason why I wanted to highlight this comment because this is the one thing a lot of people don't talk about is great as good and how electrifying Michael Vick was. He wasn't the greatest thrower of the football down here. Could have been, but even he said out of his own mouth he didn't take it seriously. So that's why you really never saw the improvement. This is one of the main reasons why Jim Moore Jr. went back to college, because Jim Moore Jr. was about to get fired because Michael Vick never improved. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know coaches was about to get like Arthur Blank wanted Michael Vick to get better as a quarterback, and he never did. And he was trying to find coaches that could bring that out of him. That's why you saw Bobby Petrino, because Bobby Petrino had the spread offense that could help Michael Vick. Unfortunately, the dogfight thing happened. It was unfortunate, but with that, but between that time where it was Dan Reeves from 2001 to 2006 when we last saw Michael Vick, if like Dan Reeves wanted Michael Vick to be a quarterback, so you kind of saw it kind of going up. But then if you notice when Jim Moore Jr. came here, Michael Vick's running game went up, but his passing game went.
Mm-hmm.
He said they want to see him run for 500 yards in a game.
Mm-hmm. That's it. As long as we get to see him run fast on a couple of games or run for 30 yards, y'all happy and satisfied.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Again, Malik ain't helping you win no games. I'm sorry. Malik is not better than Justin Fields, and y'all expect Malik Willis to win us games. Oh, y'all know how I feel about Justin. Y'all know how I feel about Justin.
Right. Hey, look.
Malik ain't better than him, but we expect him to be.
Hey, look. He said, I've seen Malik Willis lose his last 3 regular season collegiate games at home against Mississippi, L, at Louisiana Lafayette, L, and at home, L, and Willis threw 3 interceptions against Army.
Army? 3 against Army? And you want the 8?
Your face made it. I put that right there just to see your expression on that. That is hilarious.
I can't do it. Nah, I'm good on that, pimping.
That man said, Army? Like, these niggas finna go fight after they graduate. AJ here said, determines on your ego. 90% of the picks will help a need. The closest thing to a luxury is corner with the top pick. I mean, like I said, the picks would be a need, but what is a pressing need? Quarterback is not a pressing need. Like I said, we can say they need a quarterback or they need an offensive lineman or they possibly need a safety, but those are not pressing needs. defensive tackle.
Well, a quarterback is only a need when you got players around. When you already have, for instance, like a coach team, you already got the receivers, you got an offensive line, you got the running back. The Rams again, when you got all the wide receivers, you got the defense, you got the running game, you got all the necessary pieces, but your quarterback stinks. That's when you need a quarterback. All right, when you started over from scratch, you started over from absolute scratch. That's when you need a quarterback. That's when you need a quarterback. All right, so it's not a pressing need when you.
Hey, look, Raul said Malik Willis couldn't beat Bo Nix out at all.
And Bo Nix be damn throwing passes to damn the fans in the damn crunch. Like I see this man throwing the damn ball like he on the field, he in the middle of the field running from the pressure. This dude threw the ball in the stands to fans, bro.
Bro, Bo Nix is so trash, bro. I'll take Jeff Sims over Bo Nix. That's how bad.
Bro, give me Stetson Bennett over Bo Nix, okay? Give me Stetson Bennett.
Bo Nix is trash, bro. He's essentially Taysom. He's like a worse version of Taysom Hill, bro.
Yes,
he's worse than he's like if you put Taysom Hill here, and I know people like to compare Bo Nix to Taysom Hill. No, I take Taysom Hill all day before I draft a Bo Nix. And Jew talk sports, and Jew would tell you that too. He's not a Bo Nix fan either.
Ooh. Boy, he's not. Jew is an Auburn fan.
Exactly. And Brian people said 3 interceptions versus Army. Oh hell no!
Come on, man. This what we want to pick at 8 because he can run fast.
Hey, look, King Quest here said the Falcons fans gonna be like, "You seen that Malik Willis run? I know we lost by 21, but I'm happy with what he did."
We lost by 21, but
Right.
Yo, boy. Oh man.
Oh God. Jamarcus Russell or Bo Nix. Well, Jamarcus Russell problem was he was good in college. Give me Jamarcus Russell. The problem is with him is you need a hard ass coach on him. You get him a hard ass coach, he's been fine. He went to the Oakland Raiders. You think that franchise was gonna be worth anything for him? I'll take if we talking about college, I take Jamarcus Russell all day. At least I know he can hit a damn receiver. I know at least he can hit a receiver on the numbers. I think Bo Nix threw me a pass one time, and I didn't even know an Auburn game was on. I was in the living room like, damn, where does football come from?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I've seen this dude run and throw the ball 15 yards into the stands.
Be taking sacks that you don't need to be taking, bro. Bo Nix is gonna end up in the fan control football league here in the next year or two. I'm telling you.
That'll the CFL one of the two.
Shit, I don't think he's even worth a damn in the CFL. Put him in the fan control football league.
Wow, the fan control football league. Dang, bro. You really bearing his
ass. But AJ here said Matt Ryan came into a team with Turner, Roddy White, and a solid O-line. We had Pitts and CP. Yes.
That's it.
Yes. That's all we asked for. Give a quarterback necessary pieces to come, and that's the perfect example. And that was back then when Thomas Demetra, that's back then when he knew the formula was the trenches and getting that run game involved.
He wasn't running the team at that time.
He wasn't running the team. I mean, he wasn't running the team at the time, but you saw the identity was running the football, play action, defense. Well, I wouldn't say the defense was a lot better than what it was now. We just say that.
He had to learn how to be a GM. So like he didn't have as much control as he did in 16, 17, 17 and 18, where he had like I said, he had to earn that respect to like go out and get players. It was still the Rich McKay show early on, and that's why you saw the different types of free agent signings and draft picks when Rich McKay was there, and then versus when he left, when we had to get the building done. That's why you saw the difference. You just look at look. We'll probably do it. We'll probably do it Friday or something. But again, we'll break it down once again. The drafting when he was there, and I mean him being Rich McKay versus when he's not there, and you can look at the change in defense as far as like the drafting is concerned and the free agents all together. It was a drastic fall off.
Oh, wait a minute. Ryan Leaf or Bo Nix?
Ryan Leaf was
give me Trent. Hey, give me Trent Dilfer.
Man, Ryan Leaf was actually y'all talking about NFL. Bo Nix ain't even in the NFL. What the hell he had, to be honest?
Who, Ryan Leaf?
No, I'm Bo Nix. What the hell he at? He's still in college?
Yeah.
He is? Damn. That motherfucker, what, a 6-year senior? Damn.
I don't know what the fuck he is, bro, but he needs he gonna be a 9th year senior by the time he gets in these damn years. Oh man, yeah. Nah, Ryan Lee for Bo Nix. Yeah, give me Luke McCown. I'll take that. JP Lossman. Wow. I'm good with that.
Damn, JP Lossman. Damn.
10 of Bo Nix. Give me Joey Harrington all day. He ain't worth a damn, but I know he can at least hit a receiver on target somehow.
Okay, he was Oregon. Okay, I see.
Oh, wait, what?
Bo Nix is what Oregon.
Damn. Damn. But that Auburn, he's like, damn. I thought he was supposed to be an Auburn for life guy. I guess he sucked that badly. They're like, nah, let me go to the Pac. He said he did not want to deal with no more SEC defense. He want to go to the Pac-12 where they play trash defense, so I can look good.
Yep. All I got to do is get the ball out of my hand quick and let them do all the work.
Right. Here we got another one. Rex Grossman or Bo Nix.
Man, y'all keep talking about guys that were actually good in college. Bo ain't good. That's why we're talking about him.
Oh my God.
Rex Grossman was trash in the NFL, but he was good in college.
Oh man. Oh my God. Hold on.
And Billy Joes and Billy Bob and Billie Jean King and all. Damn, if I was gonna have some KKK sounding motherfuckers at quarterback, I ain't gonna lie to you, but
hold on, wait a
Billy
minute.
Joe Tolliver. But if that don't sound like it, Billy Joe Tolliver, but don't that sound like somebody with a hoodie on?
White power. But nah, look,
Billy Joe.
Hey, look. I guess Marquise here trying to stir up the pot as usual. He'll talk about what's wrong with having a QB that makes the Sports Center top 10 list every week. You and Mike are just hating Black and Mild crew. Did that top 10 Sports Center lead to a lot of consistent winning? That's all the question I have.
Hell. You don't want to mess with me.
I don't want to get the tea. Like I said, did it lead to consistent winning? Because there was games where he made top 10 on ESPN and they lost the game by 14 points. There's been plenty of them damn things. But we just talk about how spectacular play he made.
Y'all got to do better at stirring the pot, man. Like you got to do better than that. That's weak ass. That's some weak ass shit.
Oh, wait a minute. I saw somebody. I saw a comment here. Hold on, look. He said they.
That man said respectfully.
What? But did that still go to remember? But remember.
That man said respectfully. 79, 88 respectfully.
But I gotta ask him a question though. By that comment, did you put the entertainment factor over them winning though? Because that's essentially what you just did. You put the entertainment and the spectacular plays over playoff appearances, over winning.
Because when the Falcons, Matt Ryan led, Falcons were going 79, everybody wanted to riot.
Yeah, everybody with picket signs with backwards E's and shit. Yeah, they wanted to ride. It was almost like Matt Ryan was Darth Vader in this motherfucker. Boy, everybody hated his guts when he went 79.
That man said respectfully.
That ain't gonna cut
it.
Respectfully,
like it's supposed to be a cherry on top. It's still shit.
Hey, look, Brian. People said that's not gonna cut it, bro.
You try to dress up poop. Like you can't dress up poop and still smell like poop, bro.
Right.
What you talking about?
It was Marquis said it was Moore's fault. He didn't have good receivers. There was teams that didn't have good receivers that still made the playoffs, though.
Baltimore.
Eagles.
I mean, outside of Hines Ward, it was really Pittsburgh didn't have any really good receivers until later on in his career when they was trying to push him out. That's when they start upgrading receiver. But
Isaac Krause, I hope you playing about this. I hope you playing, boy, because if you are, boy, this is some serious ass shit right here.
No, you gotta be joking.
You gotta be joking, bro.
Ain't no damn. I refuse.
Brian, people say I'll take any quarterback in the Navy before I take both. Do you know how bad you got to be for somebody to take a Navy quarterback that runs the ball all the time?
Man, what that Georgia Tech? I don't know. The light skinned dude.
Which one you talking
Georgia
about? What you talking about? Justin Thomas?
Mm-mm.
What year? What year you talking about?
I don't know. It was like early 2000 something like that. I think.
Oh, you talking about Reggie Ball?
Ball. That's who I was thinking. I don't know why. Yeah, Reggie Ball. I'll take Reggie Ball before I take Bo Nix.
Boy, Reggie Ball made Calvin Johnson look like a god with them terrible passes he was throwing.
Terrible. Terrible. Thing was terrible.
Exactly. But I guess Marquis trying to call me white. I guess.
That man said 79 respectfully.
For 79 respectfully. Hey, but we got to show the same. But the thing about it is we have to show the same energy for every regime that came through here as the Atlanta Falcons. Because just this past season, we saw no receivers, and we saw no receivers, but it was the quarterback's fault. So if that's the high horse that you're running on, you have to have that same energy for every other quarterback that you have seen.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'll take Quincy Carter.
Wow. This
Bonnet.
is some quit the collar. You don't take.
Exactly.
That man had the worst list I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Oh my God. Hey. Yeah. So Marcy, that's
Man,
what Mark. That's what look. This is what Marquis. This is what his whole thing is. He tried to stir people up to get mad and talk about him. Hey, if you say Matt Ryan is my complexion, hey, I don't know. I know I'm not colorblind. I know I wear glasses, but are you trying to call Matt Ryan black?
yeah, I'm light skinned compared to Clay Brown. Goddamn. Hell, I'm more Matt Ryan than he is.
Oh, so he had to clean it up. He said, I meant to say they hate Matt Ryan because he was white. If he was your complexion, they would have loved him. Well, you better, like I said, next time you say something, yeah, you better review before you press send because that damn near made no sense. Hey, everybody chat looking like, what the fuck is he talking about? K Styles is black. What the fuck is he talking about? But oh man, we had a little fun with everybody. Had a little fun. We got about we you want to go ahead and talk about the Hawks for like about the next few minutes before we wrap this up tonight, or you want to save that for tomorrow during the show?
What the Friday?
We talk about the Hawks a little bit. Get about 10 minutes left. We
Okay.
go ahead and get on these Hawks right quick. So, hold on. Before we get there, let me answer this. Do y'all have an opinion on Garrett Wilson? Yeah. We already have Calvin Ridley on the team. I don't need another one. We good. But yeah, Atlanta Hawks. Okay, as we know that this Hawks team is down 0-2 against Miami. We've been seeing a lot. We've been seeing a lot of this jump basketball that the Heat been playing as far as being physical with the Hawks. And I think this is why you're kind of seeing like this physicality and a lot of this hitting and throat chopping and stuff like that. Because essentially what Miami is doing is they're trying to they're getting the Hawks out the game mentally with the physicality. Still also doesn't help the fact that you got Kyle Lowry's ass out here flopping like a magic card. But that's near no say that.
That man like one of them damn balloons that be outside the damn opening.
Talking about the wacky floatable too, man.
Yeah. that man push it and fall in there about it, bro.
Right. So it's all going to depend on what the Hawks do tomorrow at home. See if they can bring that Atlanta energy to stay in this series because the series is not over yet. I don't know why everybody thinking the series is already over. It ain't over. Because the one thing that I noticed about Miami this year, the Heat this year, is they're good when it goes their way. They implode when it don't go their way. But yeah, Trae Young is going to have to cut the turn. Like, yeah, last game he did turn the ball over a lot. He's gonna have to definitely cut that down. But like I said, as a team, they're going to have to come together and they're going to have to find that guy who, outside of damn Gallinari, that can consistently be that guy to take the pressure off for Trae trying to take the fuck over. And also, Clint Capella not being on that floor literally hurt us that last game too. Like I said, Clint Capella is he's not a guy that's gonna give you 20 points a game. He barely give you 15. But the one thing that he does give you, he gives you the hustle and he gives you the defensive leadership.
Mm-hmm.
John Collins ain't finna give you no defensive leadership in the paint. He just wants to dunk and shoot threes.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to dunk and shoot threes. Conwu, he's still not there yet. He's kind of he has an undefined role. I can't really say he's a defensive ace. I really can't say he's an offensive style player. He's like whatever the hell you need me to do. And look, yeah, you ain't lying because Udonis Haslem was ready to put hands on Butler when the Heat would lose. Yeah, because after that incident, the Heat lost like 4 straight games around that time. So yeah. So they're mentally fragile. That's a mentally fragile team. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. They're a mentally fragile team. And the issue that came down to is as many free throws, and you don't realize it. The free throws that the Heat got in game 2 was the reason why they won.
Yeah, they got to the rack. They kept getting second chances.
Right. So it's going to have to come down. Yeah, so the Hawks are going to have to match the intensity and be more physical in the front court. See, this is why I miss Solomon Hill, because if you got Kyle Lowry, the Magic Heart, out there flopping and hitting these, Solomon Hill would have threw his ass in the sand. See, this is why I say in playoff basketball, you need that 12th guy to basically be your foul guy. He needs to be your foul guy. He needs to be your goon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need that. You gotta have that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need that goon on your bench. Solomon Hill was that goon. See, Udonis Haslem is the goon for the Heat.
I mean, I would like Big O to be that, but he's still young and he's not gonna get that respect. So you got to get an older guy that's gonna be that.
Right.
But you know, a lot of people always say, "All right, well, Trey need to do this and Trey that." Look, shut up.
We just saw KD not score a damn basket in the second half against the Celtics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just stop. Superstars have bad games like that.
Mm-hmm.
It happens all the time. Jordan, I've seen Jordan will shoot like 9 for 30 in the game. Mm-hmm. The same thing for Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for AI.
Mm-hmm.
It happens to every superstar. That happens. You have the thing is with superstars, you don't want them to stop shooting. Once you take that aggressiveness away from them, they're not superstars anymore.
Right.
You never want to mess with that. You want them to shoot their way out of that, you know. But talk about
I hear this all the time. They need to trade for Anthony Davis. No. If I'm going to trade,
never mind. Hell no.
The left one or the right one?
Look, man.
No. Hey, look. If I'm going, go ahead, Mike. Cause I was gonna say something. I'm gonna let you say something.
Go ahead.
All I'm gonna say is, if I'm gonna trade all my assets for a guy that's only gonna give me 40 games a season, might as well throw this regime in the garbage for that. I'm good. Anthony Davis ain't played a full season. I don't think he's ever played a full season. Yeah.
I don't think he's ever played one. Only the biggest clown. You talk about soft, yeah. But I'm getting rid of. If I'm the Lakers, I'm trading LeBron and AD. I got to get some assets back. I'm getting
Boy,
rid of both of them.
Cause they ain't got no assets for the next 3 to 4 years.
Ain't nobody gonna get. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna give you nothing for no damn Russell Westbrook. So you might as well trade LeBron after Davis. Don't nobody want Westbrook.
But do anybody? But like I said, Anthony Davis ain't played a full healthy season yet. Does
That's
anybody really
that's
want
another
him?
thing. Yeah, that's another thing too. Man, the Lakers screwed. Oof.
Exactly. Hey, Bobby, they said back in New Orleans, he played 1 full year.
1 full year. Dang, bro.
Dang. And you think I want to trade for a guy that's only giving me 1 full year?
No.
No. And man, I would risk having Gory Dang be my starting power forward before I get Anthony Davis.
Look at that. What AJ just put. Just highlight that one.
This one right here.
Yeah. What you see was wrong with that statement?
Even with AD play, he couldn't hit a jump shot.
Just think about what's wrong with that statement.
So he can't hit a jump shot and he can't stay healthy. What the fuck is this?
He's a 7-footer shooting jump shot. That's the problem.
Exactly.
You 7 feet. Why are you shooting jump shots? Take your big ass in the hole. Get easy shots. Get dunks. That's the problem. Embiid can't hit jump shots. Guess what he do? He take his big behind in the paint. That's the problem. But AD probably can't do that because he'll probably end up cracking a toe or something. Standing falling on the damn.
Yeah, but I pulled an ass cheek. I can't play. I pulled an ass cheek. I can't play. But that shit is insane though. But essentially, what the Hawks really need is they need to bring in a guy who can be a number 2 for. They need a 3-and-D guy that can be a number 2 for Trae Young. That's essentially what the Hawks really need.
Mm-hmm.
A consistent 3-and-D guy.
Mm-hmm.
See, like I see somebody saying Donovan Mitchell, and like I said, Donovan Mitchell is good. But I think in order to really accentuate what Trae Young could do, his running mate has to be a great defensive guy that can shoot threes. Then like I said, Donovan Mitchell, because I'll never really know Donovan Mitchell to really be a good defensive guy. I know he's okay.
He's all right.
I know he's okay, but they need a like the perfect 2 guy for him. And like I said, I'm just saying this as hypothetical because there ain't no chance of hell this is gonna happen. Will be a guy like Klay Thompson. That's like the perfect number 2 for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Steph Curry can't play a lick of defense neither.
Mm-hmm.
But you got that number 2 guy that can hit threes consistently, who can spread the floor consistently and play good defense.
Mm-hmm.
ATM, we said his defense. We didn't say the player. The player is awesome. Donovan Mitchell is a dog. We just say his defense is okay. That motherfucker almost had a panic attack. We said that shit. Oh yeah, Marquis, that's a good name. That would definitely be a perfect guy running mate for him. Like I say, it doesn't necessarily have to be a superstar, but you just need a 3-and-D guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Malcolm Brogdon is that 3-and-D guy. Said he wanted DeRozan in the offseason, perfect fit for Trae. Only thing with him is he doesn't really spread the flow. But as a scorer, yeah, because DeRozan can get his own shot. He can get his own point. He can get his own point. So yeah, that definitely would have been good.
You just need Kevin Huerter to be better than what he is. He's very inconsistent.
Because you hit exactly what I was about to say. He said, because what does Mitchell bring that we already have in Huerter and Bogey? Consistency.
That's it.
Consistency.
He's a good scorer. He can score. He just ain't consistent with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bogey's not consistent. Herter's not consistent. Really, the only consistent second scorer they got is fucking Gallinari. With that slow ass fadeaway he got. But like I said, for the Hawks to get back in this series, they're going to have to match intensity. They're going to have to hit shots, and they have to limit turnovers. And they gotta let Trey flow. They can't, like I said, that's where you gotta
never want to mess with a star. You never want to mess with the star. You gotta let your star do what he does best. When you start trying to take away his aggressiveness, whether it's LeBron, whether it's Kobe, whether it's Jordan, Pippen, or whoever it is, Shaq, you gotta let Shaq them do their thing. And let everybody else, their job is to fit in around them. So when I hear people talk about, Trey got to play defense. No, Trey doesn't have to play defense. No, you want him. And the thing is, that's what we would want. Mm-hmm. But that's the reason why you have teammates. That's the reason why Dennis Rodman was Dennis Rodman, because guess what? Dennis Rodman was that guy when you need somebody to play some defense, you need to get a stop. You put Dennis Rodman on their ass. Mm-hmm. You didn't put Joe Dumars on him. You didn't put Isaiah Thomas on him. You didn't do that. You put the defensive guy. You got three deep. You got Bruce Bowen, another one. Guy, remember Bruce Bowen? When they need to stop, you didn't tell Tony Parker or Manu Ginobili to do it. No, Bruce. Hey, go stop Kobe. Mm-hmm. Do whatever you got to do, but stop. We don't say, all right, Tony Parker, I need you to get a defensive stop. No. I'm like that. It kills me when we talk about trying to force guys who are already doing above and beyond to do more. It's like I said, it's not realistic, bro. It's not realistic, and you're looking for way too much. Not everybody gonna be a Michael Jordan or a Scottie Pippen, right? But they're gonna be both, good offensive and defensive player. You don't get that. That's like Kawhi Leonard. You don't get guys that's Kawhi Leonard in the NBA like that. That's a rare trait.
And Bobby Day here said Bradley Beal's a free agent this offseason. Would he be a good fit?
I think he's a perfect fit, but he can't play no damn defense. Yeah.
But it depends. Like I say, that's one of those. It's just like Donovan Mitchell. It's like it depends on the night. Mm-hmm. But like you said, the one thing is they can get their own shots off it. Trey needs that bad. He needs another guy that can get their own damn shot. Because let's be honest, if Trey ain't on the floor, can't nobody get their own damn shot.
Right?
Nobody. Let's be honest.
Nobody.
I'm gonna ask. This is gonna be the last question tonight. I'm gonna ask the chat. When's the last time you seen anybody outside of Trey Young get their own damn shot?
When the last time you seen people like that with 10 assists outside of Trey?
I'm looking for some answers right quick. That's why I'm looking at some answers. Hey, ain't nobody answering, so they already know. Like, nope, we ain't never seen.
Right.
But yeah,
Lou doing every night. When the last time Lou had 10 assists? I don't remember that.
I almost forgot Lou was even on the damn team to be honest.
Yeah, me too. I ain't gonna lie to you. Me too.
But Lou put his work in the game, so I ain't gonna crack on him too much, man. But goddamn, we need some of the young. We really need some of the young players to come in and get their consistency game up.
Mm-hmm. That man said
Hold
Lou.
on. Before keep talking about
No,
Bill and CJ Mitchell, how many star backcourts outside of Curry and Clay work? Dame and CJ Phil, Harden, Westbrook, Harden, CP3 Phil. Yeah, that's another thing too that you gotta put into it. See, the thing about it is you can have superstar players on your team, but they have to complement each other. One has to do something the other can't do. See, when you have two guys that's doing the same thing, that's usually when it doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Dame and CJ McCollum fell, because they essentially are the same. CJ McCollum is just he's more efficient shooter as far as his shot selection than Dame is. Harden Westbrook wasn't gonna work because we already know that dynamic. Yeah, anything with Westbrook wasn't gonna work. Anything with Harden. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. And the thing is, I like Russell Westbrook, but the problem is
you want to like him, but he fucking trash, bro. That man can't keep up with crap. He's an athletic two guard. He athletic than the one. He exciting to watch. Right. He fun to watch, but that man can't shoot worth of crap, bro. He barely played defense like that. It's like,
No. Southside said, now Reddish did get his own shot off if he would have just kept his mouth shut and stayed here. He could, but the problem was his consistency was his issue too.
Mm-hmm.
Because he can get his own shot off, but he was consistently bricking shots too. So, and I love Cam Reddish, but that was one of the part of the games that kind of concerned me was consistency. Like he'll go off, he'll go off and get about 25 one game, and then he'll combine for 25 the next 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, Westbrook is exciting to watch. Falcon fans, who does that sound like?
Wow.
He gets triple doubles, like, but the motherfucker shot 3 for 37 from the field
with 2 sideboard bricks. Bang, man. No, Bud wouldn't even put their team. Bud will have a team full of 3 guards. Amari Carrolls. That's what he'll have. He'll have a team full of Amari Carrolls.
Man, let's be honest with you. The only reason why Budenholzer is in the discussion for being a great coach now is because of one guy and one guy only.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And Giannis is exactly the type of player that you want on your team, a guy that is willing to work and continue to evolve his game.
Mm-hmm.
This dude was a 6'9", 190-pound athletic small forward coming in. This motherfucker was just about as skinny as some chopsticks.
He was.
This dude is a 7 foot. This dude's a 7 foot, 240-pound monster that can get any shot he wants.
Oh man.
Okay, let me see. He said he could teach Trey a new way to play without the ball in his hands all the time. He made T. Corver. That's the problem. You don't have a guy that he can play off ball with.
Do you even watch Hawks game? Because Trey, we literally have Kevin Huter on the team. That is the point. He's really the point when Trey, when teams are going to trade to double and trip him. They have, even during this series against Miami, Huter was the ball guy. He was the guy bringing the ball up the court. Like that's what Kevin. That's why you give him $60 million. But the problem with that, like you got guy and Kevin who can be that backup point. But the problem is when he's that backup point, who's gonna score outside? Because they even when you double him, double Trey, and he don't have the ball in hands, somebody else still got to score.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do is point the finger at Mr. $100 million power forward / center in John Collins. If he get his ish together, we wouldn't be worried about whether or not somebody can score.
But
Let's just keep it 100. If he's consistent, we don't have any questions.
and stop when it says stop bitching every time the ball doesn't go to him.
Right, that's it. Like seriously, he do his job as a scorer. We don't worry about defense. We don't worry about Trey not turning the ball over. If John Collins is doing his job and getting 20 points a game, that's all the Hawks need him to do is score 20 points a game. He can't even do that for $100 million.
I wouldn't even say just 20. If you said I'll go 2 points lower by 18, go 18-9.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I like John Collins, but it's hey, I like his game though. I like him.
You get pushed, when I see your big ass getting pushed by a point guard, I like, come on, bro. Like you getting pushed off the block by a point guard. Yeah.
I think his problem is once he started working on them threes, started hitting them threes. And that's kind of like one of the downfalls of a lot of big guys is once they start developing that 3-point shot, especially if they weren't really a 3-point threat before, they start inching away from the paint. And Marquise got a good point here because he doesn't have his lob threats and Capella and Nine Fingers Collins. I mean, that is true. I mean, that's essentially what this offense for the Hawks is basically pick and roll. But that lets you know they have no faith in anybody else really running this damn offense but Trey.
There's two things you can do off of pick and roll: dive to the basket and shoot. Right now, they don't have a guy to dive to the basket. They got a bunch of guys who can shoot off the pick and roll, but they don't have a guy who can dive, and that dive guy is Clint Capella. That's the problem with their offense, and defensively, they're extremely reliant on Clint's big body and his shot blocking ability to like prevent or let the offense second guess going to the basket and shoot that mid-range jump shot. And that's if you look at both of those games, that's how they lost. They weren't getting that guy when you come off that pinch. When you come off that pick, nobody was diving to the basket like Clint Capella. Everybody was standing around and looking at Trey when he was looking for a guy to go to the basket. And everybody focused on, Trey, he turned the ball over. No, he's ready. This offense is predicated off whether or not these guys are going to double Trey hard. That's what this offense is. If you double Trey hard, he can find whether it's the shooter. He's finding the shooter on the perimeter, but there's nobody diving to the hole. And that's the issue with this offense. Nobody's going to the basket. So it ain't Trey. It really ain't the shooting. We just don't have that guy going to the hole to loosen up the deep.
Mm-hmm. So, in that note, we're going to go ahead and wind the show down for the night. We definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. Mike, you got any final words you want to tell everybody?
Yep. Shut that dumb shit up about Malik Willis. The end. I would much rather have. Draft a running back with the first pick. I'm not touching no quarterback in this draft. I much rather. I'm so serious when I say this. I would much rather draft a running back at number 8 than draft one of these damn quarterbacks. I'm not touching them because that's essentially what the hell these quarterbacks are in this draft. Running backs. They can't throw worth of crap with the assistant of Carson and Bailey Zappi.
Like I said, ATL boy, he agitating your ass with that comment right there. He said pass on Malik Willis for Stetson Bennett next year.
I would rather have you ain't baiting me. I would rather have Stetson Bennett than Malik. I don't want no damn Malik. He lost the arm. Bro, you throwing 3 picks to Army? Man, you don't get out of my face with that goofy crap. The hell I look like was some damn Malik. You can't even. You throwing 3 interceptions against Army. Hey, you want me to be? You want to be my starting quarterback? Boy, stop.
Oh Lord, ATM's eyes. You have joined the dark side. Michael Walker has been saying that other players just be watching him dribble. Trey be looking for cutters and all. Yeah. There ain't no way in hell. But like I said, my final words is gonna be to everybody, man. Like I said, y'all continue just to support. We on the road to 1K. I'm calling it before the season starts. I don't know where I'm at right now. I know we close to 800. We about 20 away from 800 as I last saw. So let's go ahead and get that going. The first goal is almost there.
Exactly.
We can
wait. Yep.
Yeah. So the goal is almost there. Help a brother out, and we can really start having a party over here. But make sure y'all tune in tomorrow for Friday Night Madness. If you didn't get a chance to check out the pre-draft show with Noah last night, y'all make sure y'all go to Mad Mike Sports and check that out. Y'all gonna get a lot of good information. And like I said, Noah is one of them. That's the draft. That's one of our draft guys. That's the info.
That's the draft crew.
The draft crew. Them the information. That's where we get. That's where we get some of our a good portion of our information from. It's from Noah and Trey and them boys on that show. So y'all make sure y'all go ahead and do that. Like I said, be tuning in for Friday Night Madness tomorrow. Y'all might get the Unholy Alliance tomorrow. So that's when the if the Unholy Alliance ends up on Friday Night Madness, y'all don't know what the hell y'all about to get.
and it ain't gonna be coming from me. I usually just sit back and watch the clown show. Well, the shit show.
And Marquis said, keep up great work. We need the Sirius FM so Mike can do his F-bomb rants.
Nah, I'm good. I've been saved, man. Jesus, he visited me last night. He told me not to curse anymore. So I'm a born again Christian. What the hell
you see where I'm looking at like, really, nigga?
I'm dead serious. Hell, what you talking about? Peter cuss? Why the hell I can't cuss? That don't mean I'm not a born again Christian. He was slicing motherfuckers' ears off.
Really?
Man, Peter was a killer, bro. I'm just telling y'all, man. Peter was a killer. Shit, I can cuss. If he like there slicing ears off and killing people, why the hell I can't cuss?
I didn't say you could cuss, but you know what I'm like.
I
Hey,
am,
look.
shit.
That's why everybody had to. That's why I had to look to the side. Everybody look like. But until next time, y'all, man, we ain't here to play. We here to stay. You ain't gotta go home.
Man, fuck y'all, man. That's just, shit. I have said.
Look,
Fuck
let
all
me add
y'all.
this.
How
Look
about
like this.
that? Oh boy.
Like I said, you ain't like I said, we
Oh,
ain't here to
shit.
play. We here to stay. You ain't gotta go home.
Get the fuck up out of here. How about that shit? Hey.
Mad Mike Rants coming soon. 6-Man K-Style Records. Deuces.
Oh man.